Good morning, good afternoon, good evening all. Welcome back to the Moza Robertson YouTube channel. I am your host as always, Moza, and today we're back for a guide on how to get your money into Footium. Footium being a Web3 game, you can't just put pounds and pence into it. It is based using the Ether cryptocurrency, Ethereum, on a layer 2 Arbitrum. If you wish to get more information on that, we do have the previous video briefly touching on it, but I'm going to give you a guide today on basically how to buy players, how to buy clubs, and how to get involved. If you enjoy the content, if this is helpful to you, and if you want to see more, please do consider liking, subscribing, and ringing the bell on this. Everything that is some kind of engagement helps, so thank you in advance to any of you that decide to do so. We are one subscriber away at this count from 500. I've been that way for a little while, so it'd be lovely to hit that note as well. So thank you in advance to anyone who decides to click the big red button down there. But you've watched a bit of content, potentially, from myself. You've had a look at Footium, you've seen some live games. You're sitting there and you think, right, I'm ready. I want to get involved. How do I do it? You have essentially 3 ways of getting money as things stand into the Footium ecoverse. So allow me to take you through all of them one by one. I'll discuss kind of pros and cons, and obviously drop some links below for you if you do decide to proceed. Let's start with option 1, potentially the easiest option there is. You can what's called Onramp. You can buy Ether direct on Arbitrum through a wallet. If you have, to give you an example, MetaMask as your wallet of choice, you will notice when you open up MetaMask there is a buy button. If you make sure your network is selected to Arbitrum One, you can buy Ether, or as many people just refer to Ethereum, on there directly with a debit card, with other kind of on-ramps as well. You'll see things like MoonPay on there. You'll see other potential providers of that on-ramp as well. They will offer you a quote. Some of these you will need to register for and do KYC, which is essentially giving your details to a provider to let them know that you are the person you say you are. It's similar to normal checks you would get when banking and so on as well. Crypto isn't quite the lawless place it used to be, so expect that KYC checks will be required, I should say, for many of these on-ramps or other methods of getting your money into crypto in the first place. It's definitely the easiest route of the 3 because all you're doing is putting your money directly from your bank account or wherever it is, straight into your wallet, ready to spend on OpenSea, be it on clubs, on players, and just ready to use whenever you wish to use it as well. The exchange rate that you're offered might not be the best all the time though, so bear that in mind. You might want to compare that, especially if you already have some crypto holdings elsewhere, which leads us on to option number 2, which is to bridge your money to Ether on Arbitrum. So for example, when I was putting money over initially, I had some money just sitting in Ethereum and Ether, the normal Ether. I decided to bridge that because I had the option to do number 3, which will be moving money through an exchange. We'll cover that shortly, but bridging it was the easiest option for me. What is it? So you go to a bridge. The one that I'll mention here is Arbitrum's own bridge on their own website, just so you know it's safe and valid. There are other ones out there you can use as well that potentially could offer cheaper rates. Rhino is one that the team at Footium tend to recommend making use of as well. And what it does is it connects to your wallet. It sees what you've got in there already. You tell it how much of your existing crypto you want to convert to bridge over to Ether on Arbitrum. It will give you a quote including a gas fee, so there will be a fee for doing so, and if you wish to proceed you click confirm. It isn't instant. Bear in mind it may take up to 15 minutes to appear, so be ready for that. It might not be there instantly if there's a club or a player you want to buy before the rush. If it's particularly cheap, you may not get there in time before someone else snaps it up. So this is firstly an ease of use, as a convenience option if you already have crypto in your wallet in other blockchains, for example, or in other types of crypto. You potentially may pay higher fees by bridging, and it takes some time. So those are the downsides to weigh up when you're doing this as well. And that leads us to option 3, which is, having tried all 3 options now, my preferred route. It is putting your money through an exchange. In my case, I've used Coinbase for this. There are lots of different exchanges out there, all sorts of different ways of doing this, but I'll explain to you the way that I have done it. So I put money into Coinbase and I bought Ether on Ethereum the standard way. What I did then is, when you have Ether on Ethereum, you can send that from your exchange, be that Coinbase or anywhere else you've bought that, to your wallet. In my case, it was a MetaMask wallet, but there's other alternative wallets out there as well. When you are sending it, if you are very careful to say that you're sending it on the Arbitrum One network, it will automatically go from Ethereum into Arbitrum and still be Ether. It saves you a step that way. It potentially saves you costs that way. Overall, it tends to be the cheapest way, in terms of fees at least, to get money into your wallet ready to spend on players, on clubs, or on anything else you're going to need it for. The downside with this route is the length of time and the number of steps it takes. Unlike when you Onramp, which is basically one step, unlike when you bridge, which, if you already have crypto holdings in other types of crypto and other blockchains, is one step, this step generally is going to be twofold. So firstly, you'll need to put money into the exchange to then buy Ether or whatever other crypto that you want to do. Ether would be the easiest route to do it. If you can buy Ether on Arbitrum already, all the better. But you could also have crypto in your wallet that you don't want to bridge. You can do this alternative route of sending it to an exchange, converting it to Ether on the exchange, and then the same final step, sending it to your wallet on the Arbitrum One network, so it's ready to go for you when you're ready to buy anything, player or club related. Now, it goes without saying that this is crypto. There are dangers to doing this. Not just on the crypto side, where your investments can go up or down and there's no guarantee of returns, etc. If you get any addresses wrong when you're sending them, you could lose your money. So be very, very careful to double check and triple check before you make a transaction to send funds to a wallet. My recommendation is, if you're using the exchange step or the bridge step, is to send a small amount first to make sure it arrives, and then to send the rest after. You'll pay double fees, or you'll pay extra fees potentially, but for peace of mind and not losing all your money, I'm happy to do that personally. The way you can avoid that risk is if you use the first option, an on-ramp. Despite the fact that you might pay higher fees in terms of an exchange, you know that regardless of what happens, when you buy Ether on Arbitrum by Onramp, it will be in your wallet because you're buying it through your wallet. So that's how you can avoid that risk. If, however, you're comfortable that you know that you'll double check and triple check when you're sending the amounts to the right wallet and confirming you're sending it via Arbitrum, Ether on Arbitrum, that's the easiest way, ultimately. So it is up to your own risk tolerance, it is up to your own personal preference. There are 3 quite distinct ways of getting money into Ether on Arbitrum, ready to spend on Footium players and clubs. And if you need any help at all with any of these options, come into the Discord. The link is below. Join us in there. It's a really helpful community. More than happy, not just to talk about how to get funds in the right places, but also suggestions on reasonable prices of players and clubs, on the game itself, on formations, tactics, what's working, what's not working, and giving all the feedback to the team, especially during this season 0, that while it's going well, obviously there are still bugs and there are still balance issues that need to be fixed, and we're very happy to let the guys know about what they are. We're very vocal, so don't be afraid to come in and have a word. You will be joining an already quite positive but obviously very opinionated group as well. It's a great place to just chat football as well as a game. And other than that, thank you very much for watching this guide. There is more information as always and links below, including the written guide from the team themselves on how to get your money in if you prefer to read rather than to watch and listen to myself again. And I will be back probably later this week, if not early next week, with some news about how Season 0's been going, also talking about fitness, how stamina has an impact, and I've been doing some research into the numbers as well. So I'll give you a brief outline of how good stamina, how poor stamina can affect your player's condition, how your players recover between games as well, which hopefully should put you in good stead for Season 1 and the real big launch when promotion and relegation suddenly become a thing. So until then, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Adios.